The Scale tool is basically another alternative to using the Selection tool and the Transform Each function that we saw in the previous tutorial. So first up, I'm going to select my object with the Selection tool. Then I'm going to select the Scale tool from the Tool panel. Once the Scale tool is selected, you will see I get a reference point indicator appear in the centre of the shape. This indicates where the point of reference for the scale will be. I'm going to leave it where it is and I'm going to click outside the shape and drag. You can see that the shape is being scaled from the central point. To constrain the proportions during the scale, hold down the Shift key. I'm now going to drag the reference point indicator towards the top of the shape and do the scale again. You can see that the shape is being scaled from this new point of reference. So this method of scaling with the Scale tool is similar to that with which you would do with the Selection tool and a bounding box, the only difference being with the Scale tool you can choose the exact point of reference for the scale. The next method to scale with the Scale tool is just an alternative to using the Transform Each method we saw in the previous tutorial. I'm going to select my object again, and this time I'm going to double click on the Scale tool in the Tool panel. You'll notice that the point of reference is moved to the centre of the object. I do not get the choice to reposition it with this method. Now I can choose between two different methods for the scale: Uniform, which scales the object proportionately, and Non-Uniform, which allows me to distort the object horizontally or vertically during the scale. I'm going to go ahead and choose Non-Uniform and set a different value for the horizontal and then the vertical. Then I'm going to tick the preview box. Under Options, you can decide whether you want to scale the stroke and effects in proportion or not by ticking this box. Watch what happens to the preview as I tick and untick this box. Once you are happy with the preview, you can either select OK to apply the changes to the currently selected shape, or you can select Copy to apply the changes to a newly copied shape instead. You can also access the Scale dialog box by right-clicking on the shape and choosing Transform and Scale.